There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone.
Rarely going where no one has gone before. Welcome to the Captain's Chair, a Star Trek Lower Decks podcast on the Fangirl Zone. I'm Chief Engineer Steve, and joining me on this mission into the unknown is...
a guest from afar. Sean, Fangirl ass, yay! I'm here! I beamed in today just for this.
How am I supposed to follow that?
Yeah.
I'm Redshirt Dave, and today we'll be discussing episode 7 of Star Trek's Lower Decks.
I could say I'm a visiting admiral, but I mean, that's me.
You're a sub-captain.
Right.
Sub-cap.
I'm so glad I got to join you guys today.
Yes. Glad to have you finally. We've been trying for the last month.
Yeah, schedules just don't always work, or my dog doesn't always cooperate and let me sleep
that's more
hours.
More than anything. Now, I did notice, we had Star Trek Day last week, and I got to see later on the next day, Mike McMahon had posted about the episode and actually going through how there's steps to actually produce an episode. And he let the cat out of the bag.
Oh,
They're
yeah?
already working on stories for season 2.
Really?
Yes.
Well, these writers, they're always hoping the best.
Yeah.
But we're writing. You can't stop us.
Yeah. Well, let's hope.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be back.
I think so, too.
It's hilarious. I mean, this episode was a little bit less funny in the beginning to me,
Right.
but I really enjoyed it. I mean, last episode, my husband too, oh my gosh, we were dying. But I'm like really enjoying this. And yeah, I'm cracking up. And I'm like, you know what? I can see this actually, like, not just being cartoon. Like, I could see this happening. I don't know why I think it.
Oh, I got the same
funnier.
feeling. To me, this seemed like a real Star Trek episode. I mean, aside from the Boimler stuff, but Mariner and her captain friend going to the other ship, that was very Star Trek-y.
Oh
yeah. 100% agree there.
Interesting.
Okay.
I know they separated. I mean, last week, Boimler and Mariner were very close, and not that close. It's not like their boots were touching. But a mutual admiration society today. In this episode, they separated them.
First
They
time
kind
all
of separated
season.
everybody,
Yeah.
yeah.
Strange. So episode 7, Much Ado About Boimler. Mariner tries to impress her best friend from Starfleet Academy, who is now a visiting captain. Boimler is sent to a Starfleet medical ship after a transporter accident puts him out of phase. So I said to Steve last week, Much Ado About Boimler, a little ripped on some Shakespeare, Much Ado About Nothing. And then I thought today, I'm like, they substituted Boimler for nothing? Does that mean Boimler's a nothing to these people?
Aww.
I know, that's kind of strange, isn't it? Much Ado About Boimler. I mean, if it's innocent, then it's all about him and his phasing there. If it's less than innocent, then they don't have much respect for him.
That's really sad when you put it like that. I didn't think of that.
I didn't think of that until today.
Right.
Oh, now I'm sad for Boimler.
Much Ado About Nothing. Or Boimler.
I'm kind of sad for Boimler anyway, because what happens to him after all in this episode?
Yeah, he's back to being a kind of a loser as opposed to last week when he wasn't.
Oh.
I know, I'm on Boimler's case this week.
I'm like, come on, you can do it. Oh, shall we jump in, gentlemen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, we know Tendi and Rutherford are both kind of nerds, geeking out over the science stuff. And this week, it was no exception, because Tendi decides to genetically engineer the dog in her spare time. Not just any dog, of course, because apparently Tendi has never actually seen a dog. or knows what they do. Which I'm thinking, why wouldn't you have gone to the holodeck and just put in "show me dogs"? Something.
Yeah.
Google it. I mean, come on. There's got to be something in the archives.
That's her side project. Engineer a dog. Wow.
Yeah, and everybody else is just looking beat to crap, and they're trying to go to bed. And she's like, "Wait, check out what I did."
When she goes to the bathroom, she works on her project.
Yeah, 9 billion slices.
Oh my gosh. Just love it's like, oh, look it's a golden retriever. It looks totally normal until
spits bats later on.
What? Yeah, one eyeball bats and when it was climbing the walls. I love it though, because we still have Mariner just like, let me know if it does something I need to worry about.
I know everyone else is horrified. She rolls over.
Like I said, she kind of beat to crap. Who knows what they've been doing that day? But what really? I'm watching that and I'm looking at my dog going,
Yeah.
What are you doing when I'm not here? Do I need to get one of those cameras? I mean, you never know. She doesn't act like a dog all the time. So, I kind of side-eye her.
Yeah.
And the next day we find out after all the craziness happened with our weird little dog-ish animal. Well, a temporary bridge crew is going to be coming to take over for Captain Freeman, Commander Ransom, and Shax is absent. I say that a couple times fast. And I'm thinking, did that ever happen in like any of the shows? Because they're always going to away missions. Like they never mentioned that. Like you have a visiting captain come and take over. And it kind of made me wonder. You guys have been watching Star Trek for a while. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, they definitely did.
Oh, yeah. Jellicoe.
Yep, Jellicoe. Jellicoe was mentioned in the episode, right?
Yeah, Mariner even mentions him.
Yep. Jellicoe the jerk.
I do not remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm going to have to go back through all this. Which one? Because that's a lot of Star
They
Trek.
never do anything without a callback.
Yeah.
If you think you've seen it before, you definitely have.
Well, our bridge crew that is being sent on an elite team covert mission with very interesting chain of command stealth uniforms. It's like, what?
We've seen those too.
Yeah.
What would we find out? It's plant some roulotte seeds on some agricultural colony. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Seriously, like they're saying that and it's like so intense. And I'm just sitting there going, what did I miss?
Nothing. It's like Starfleet Command is fighting a war against the Borg or Klingons or Romulans somewhere. And they said, well, who's going to do the seed thing? Well, just give it to Cerritos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. They're highly volatile.
Yeah. Tell them it's a covert mission.
Yeah. Disputed territory. It's like, really? I feel like the entire ship is laughing at them at this point. It's like, yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, highly volatile seeds. Sure, okay. But the senior staff is taking it over the top, and everybody else is like, yeah, all right, who are we getting to cover this? And like you guys said, Jellicoe type replacement. And of course, Boimler is super psyched for whoever's coming. I mean, I'm guessing he's hoping that he makes such a great impression that they take him away. It's like, is this like your damsel in distress moment? You're hoping that the captain from the other ship that's visiting is going to pick you up and carry you away to their ship? You're like, come with me, Boimler. I'm going to make you
He's not even shy about his ass kissing.
No.
I love the hair thing, though. Does this look better?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm watching it going, what the hell are you doing? It's great, but it was bad. Poor Boimler. And Rutherford is attempting to speed up the transporter, but he needs a guinea pig. So Boimler's like, this'll be great.
Yeah, just what I need.
Right.
I'll impress the new captain.
And I'm thinking, okay, that went way too well the first time they did it. And so you knew something bad was going to happen when they try to transport him back. And are you making the noise for me?
Yeah.
And yes, he gets caught mid-phase. Physically, he's kind of sort of there because he can interact with things, but he's producing a bright blue light and a really loud, shrill transporter tone.
Ironically, he doesn't need that to be a first-class whiner.
No.
Boom, boom.
Make that tone all on his own. I love it when he's like, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and report to the bridge. It's fine. And everyone's like, what the hell is wrong with you?
It's nothing. It's definitely something.
Go to sick bay. It's like, but.
I know he's all slumped over. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the doctor. They did manage to at least get him from making the noise. I mean, Rutherford did something. He's like, see, that's not so bad.
I know. These minor victories are like climbing Everest to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
At that point, I'm shocked Boimler didn't go running back to the bridge. Like, I got this. I'm not making the noise. It's fine. I can work through anything.
Tiana wasn't going to let him go back to the bridge.
She just looked pissed all the time. I think that's hilarious. I mean, I guess if you're just there, no matter what, you're going to be pissed. I don't know what to say with her, but she's like, fine, I already called them. The only people that can fix you, Division 14. Yeah. Don't worry. It'll be great. And I'm like, well, that doesn't sound good.
No. Anything you call Division 14 probably isn't good, just like Section 31.
Right? It's like, I feel like all those specialized areas, it's like, oh, you're super screwed. And then when they describe it, don't worry. It's like the farm. Like, oh my God, is this like what they used to tell kids?
Yes.
Don't worry, we're taking the dog to the farm.
Yeah.
I was seriously worried for Boimler.
Yeah, but he soldiers on in hopes that people will adapt to his new translucent lifestyle. But of course, Tiana's not having any part of it. And of course, he's going to the farm on Endocrimus 5. And we get to see this ship. It looks like a starship hearse.
Yeah, I know. It comes out of the darkest corner of the universe.
Yeah, and it's black. And
Yep.
very pointy. Nothing
Pointy.
looks like a Starfleet ship.
Nope.
No, the captain was just
Flying
frightening.
casket. Yeah.
Yeah. Good old Adosian captain. Of course, takes Boimler and the dog, which is accompanied by Tendi, aboard his equally terrifying ship full of Starfleet unsolvable space illnesses and failed science mysteries.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Good show.
This assembled self-identified freaks are a Star Trek trip through the island of Dr. Moreau with a stopover in Sid's room from Toy Story.
Definitely.
I was expecting one of us.
Yeah. That would have been awesome.
Well, they tried to convince him, that's for sure.
He is so by the book, though. I mean, come on.
Yeah. And the patients are a who's who of Starfleet's dark anomalies and the clinically obscene, including an ensign in a pike chair, several of them actually.
That was awesome.
Devolved lizard Anthony.
Oh, God.
I love it. Was that a person?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, it was. And of course, the leader of this group is a half old man, half boy leader of Starfleet's hidden mistakes, rallies them all under Freaks Fight Back.
Why? I can hear him approaching now.
Yeah.
That was one of the old chairs they were using.
Yeah.
Yes. Bike chair. Bad rollers.
Yeah, but the mutiny is short-lived because, of course, Boimler goes to the captain and blabs.
Yeah, Boimler, come on, dude.
And, of course, the captain goes absolutely creep villain on us and turns around and lets the rest of them on the ship know that Boimler's the one who informed him of their little mutiny.
That's awesome. He shuts the door behind him.
Yeah, it's like, oh God, this is
And
not
they
good.
just jump him.
I thought they were going to tear him to pieces or something.
Yeah, I
I
did too.
was actually hoping at this point, they would jump through him, he was getting so out of phase or something.
But they decide there's even a better way to deal with Boimler by spacing him through an airlock.
Yeah.
Oh, you put yourself in there. Huh, lucky us.
Fortunately for him, when the airlock is opened,
Yeah.
he's prepared. He even holds his nose as he
Yeah.
falls out the airlock and lands on green grass as the ship has already landed on the farm. But it gets worse for poor Boimler,
I feel so bad for him.
as this place is a paradise. But as soon as he gets back up onto his feet, his phasing disappears. So it wasn't permanent, it was temporary.
I was wondering if it was like he had to have a major stressful incident or if it was just strictly temporary.
Well, he definitely thought he was about to have a stressful incident, so that could have done something. Could have been part of it.
Either way, I think something we can learn from.
Yeah, indeed. And so, of course, he's going to have to go back, and we get a touching moment with Tindy as she says goodbye to the dog.
As it flies away.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And what was it? It was like, oh yeah. Oh God. Was it spit acid or something?
Yeah.
Like, that's not normal.
And can talk and everything else. And it's just like, holy crap, Tindy,
Hi.
do some research.
You really are a freak. Yeah, I know. What is happening? It's great.
Of course, the disappointed Boimler and Tindy are returned to the Cerritos, which has got their own problems, don't they, Dave?
As always. One comment about the animation for this show. Steve and I spoke on it last week. It's not the most sophisticated, but when Boimler holds his breath and is ready for the worst, he looks at it. He's got his eyes pinched closed.
Yeah.
Pinching his nose. I'm going to die. And when Tindy talks to the dog, she puffs her cheeks like, aren't you the cutest little thing?
Oh my God, because I totally just see you doing it right now in my head.
You see?
Because that's something that everybody does to dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Their dogs are babies. Yeah. Who's a baby? All right. Speaking of babies, no, I'm kidding. Sorry, Mariner. We have to get to the Mariner. This I thought was the A plot. What do you guys think? Was this the A plot to you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah? This was the A plot.
Okay. So Mariner, being Mariner, assumes that the temporary captain will be some stuffy blowhard, but is sideswiped by the revelation that it's Amina Ramsey, guest star Tox Olgundoy, on an academy friend that she graduated with. So cool, man. Turns out she's not quite the same person that Mariner partied around back in the day. She's so casual when she's always complaining about something. She's definitely a kid. She's right, because later on she admits she's not ready. She needs to be ready, but she never explains to her captain. And I was a little surprised that her captain friend didn't look into her file and say, well, geez, she's still an ensign. How could that be? And then look into all the stuff she either did or didn't do.
Right.
But half-hour animated show. Don't look into it too deeply, Dave.
Well, maybe she just figured that it was her mom, like, messing with her.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, because you figure that Ramsey has to know that she's Freeman's daughter and the Admiral's daughter.
She's not onto it at all. There's nothing that, no sly look or anything like that or a hint. But she should know.
Yeah.
She should know, and she should know what Mariner's problem is and why she isn't moving up the ranks. Because later on, she says to her, we figured you'd be first to be captain.
Right.
Huh. Am I taking this too seriously? Anyway, Ramsey's a captain. She takes her own bridge crew, and they're about as seriously bridge crewy as a bridge crew can get. She loves all the aspects of the job, considering she's not the only fine taking on a temporary duty aboard the Cerritos, but excited to help install water filters on a swampy-ass planet. Bogs. Who cares about bogs?
Yeah.
Bogs are exciting.
Not to Mariner, they weren't.
Yeah. She's always, when she's lying in her bunk, you either see her with her sleeves rolled up, totally exhausted, and she's like, I forget the word for it, but the nonchalant's not even it. She usually has her tunic unbuttoned, at least one button.
Oh, yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, it's part of her rebellious nature, too. I don't have to wear this uniform. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I get a feeling she would really fit in really well on Picard's crew.
The new crew? Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Kind of like the misfit. Where do I belong? They question themselves. They don't know where they belong until they find each other, I guess. Yeah. If there was a foil to mask that Mariner puts on for this disaffected, disorderly ensign skirting the rules and shirking responsibility, Ramsey is the calm, collected mirror. Good to have friends.
Yeah.
And of course, over the course of this episode, this completely undoes Mariner.
Yeah, getting made number one. Whoa.
Yeah, it's still strange, though. She was so happy to see her friend. You know, they gleefully reminisce about their parting days during Starfleet Academy, and Mariner's quickly and starkly reminded that Amina has done some growing up, and that's something that she hasn't done. And some of her reactions didn't seem affected. They seemed like she was deeply embarrassed, at least.
Yes.
I was thinking that too, or the way she was acting, that it was almost like maybe she had a crush on her and she was just kind of fumbling over everything.
Kind of crush.
Mariner and her friend, I thought like maybe Mariner had a crush on her. Like, not just like, oh, you're captain and look at you, big bad, but like romantically, like back in the day, and that's why she's like a little like, oh, I'm fumbling over my own
If
feet.
she had a crush on her, more than a few buttons would be undone in her tunic, I think.
Oh, so she's Kirk, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, shirt's off. How'd that shirt come off again? Anyway, the distance too cool for spaceship school persona shatters, and she messes up simple stuff on the mission that nearly creates a major problem, earning Ramsey and her team's ire. But more potently, the interim captain's disappointment. I guess we find out sooner or later that she's like faking it because she realizes this is an audition, and perhaps she doesn't have the confidence to be ready for this. She just wants to pal around with her pal. She doesn't want to go through an audition.
Right.
And maybe for something she's not ready for.
I totally think she's ready, but then after what we've seen in a previous episode about her not noticing something, like, I don't know if maybe that's part of it. Like, okay, I just need to go back and kind of chill and kind of reevaluate everything. But she does amazing.
Yeah, she was, spontaneously she does when called upon. But when it comes to the rules, she's a screw up. And that didn't seem affected to me. When they land on the Bog planet, she starts marching in the wrong direction. Coming with us? Oh, yeah, sure. Or the fact that she forgets all the tricorders. You know?
Yeah.
So did she deliberately do that so she could screw up the audition? Or is she so intimidated by her friend's promotion to captain that she can't help but screw up? What do you guys think?
I can see it being that she's intimidated and she's like, oh, great. Everything I do is just going to show how I'm a screw up, no matter how good I am. But then at the same time, like, I see her in the back of her mind going, if I'm good, she's going to tell my mom. and
Right.
Yeah. And then it's like, I don't want that.
Weird.
Yeah, I really think that it's something that we haven't seen yet that had to happen back previous to this, where she did have some responsibility and somebody got hurt.
So that's kind of like Discovery.
Right, to where she doesn't want that responsibility anymore.
Yeah.
But she performs when the chips are down and makes sure everybody gets saved. But if she had the responsibility of doing that, it
would freak her out too much.
I think so. I think it would just bring back whatever that was. Whoever got hurt under her responsibility is.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of deep and serious. It seems beyond this show to be that deep and serious.
True. Very true.
But not that I don't doubt it, though. I don't. It seems like, I don't know, that's more appropriate for Picard or Discovery, but not this show. But you never know.
Right.
They're going to throw something deep and meaningful, and you're going to eat your words, Dave.
I got
I'll
pretty
be
deep
sorry.
in this episode.
Yeah.
And with
So
this
these questions,
story.
these questions come to a head when a more serious emergency arises and Ramsey is forced to divert the Cerritos. I always think of Cheetos when I see that. To a rescue mission to save the crew of the USS Rubido. I should have looked up Rubido. Does anybody know what a Rubido is? I know what a Robido. I've worked with Robidos, but what's a Rubido? Aside from a French name.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a strange creature tearing the ship's power circuit apart. Mariner loses her cool on being a klutz at a time when she really can't afford to be, and Ramsey's disappointment quickly turns into frustration. Yeah, I like how when their little cartoon fists go right down to the side.
Yeah.
They're like, ugh, what are you doing? But when stakes aboard the Rubido become lethal, the two of them come into the loft steps, leading the crew to safety. That was really exciting. Actually, that's when it felt really Star Trek-y to me.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
when it's like, no, it's in the ship.
And you know what's great about that, too, was not the sound design, but the score.
Right.
Do you hear the score in the background? It's like pulsating and I was going to say throbbing. I don't know. It's not a porn film.
Oh, my gosh.
But it was really crazy. Hey, you're the one that thinks there's a love affair going on between Mariner and Anna.
Well, maybe
didn't you imagine some buttons popping off of somebody's tunic?
I just thought maybe she was crushing, and that's why she's going to fumble over her own feet.
They should have switched.
Quite literally at one point.
They should have switched to the scene where they're doing each other's hair in one of the rooms. Oh, it looks so nice like that.
Oh my God.
That's not a girl thing, you guys. You don't fix each other's hair. No.
Yeah, back when we were like 8.
Yeah, girl thing. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
Thus is my success to my knowledge of women. You just heard it. So anyway, back to the show. The immediate personality switch leads Ramsey to ask a question that really shakes Mariner up. She knows that Ramsey was going to offer her a promotion and join the crew aboard the Oakland. So why did she deliberately sabotage herself? I wonder if this is San Francisco. Maybe they're right across the bay from each other. Anyway. No, it never ends. Mariner can't afford to truly answer the question until the day is saved, thanks to some last-minute ingenuity on her own part, mostly because she's busy trying to be both right in spite of herself and not get everyone killed. It was pretty heroic.
Yes, it
actually.
was.
Yeah. There were some great moments when she was saving somebody's life. She got that glowing tendril wrapped around her.
Yeah.
And then Ramsey brings out the phaser and zap the tendril. I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah.
I love it though when she's yelling and for Rutherford and she's like, Boimler us!
Yeah. What a bum. When the dust is settled and the Rubidoux crew is saved, she finally admits what she really does want to rank up and take command to do these things she's been seeing Ramsey do, but she doesn't feel she's there yet. Well, she's the only one stopping her is her then. Plus Steve's theory that there's something in her past that may have tragically happened. The dark aspect of this cartoon show.
Hey, you know they're going to throw some monkey wrench into this whole thing and be like, oh, you thought it was just this. No.
It'll be the last episode. We're all laughing our butts off, and it gets right to the end. We're like, oh my God, that's dark. What happened?
Oh my goodness.
So the comfort zone of putting on her distance persona to masquerade her outstanding competence gives her the space to find out who she truly is as a person before she can trust herself to have the lives of others in her hands. We shall see. We shall see. I wonder.
That just makes Steve's theory sound even more plausible.
I know what it is. It's the mirror universe.
Yeah. She's really a Terran.
That's right.
And Boimler's in big trouble.
Yeah, really. Maybe she comes from the nice universe and this is the dark universe. You'll find out right at the end.
That would be a twist.
That sure would.
Yes.
It'll be a crossover where they rewrite the whole plot lines through Discovery and Picard. They'll be wearing mustaches and goatees.
That would be an awesome way to bring him on this series. Yes.
You heard it here first. You guys ready to get into some Easter eggs, boomer talk, and top 5 jokes?
Oh, wait. Top 5 jokes?
Oh, yeah. We always do the top 5 jokes.
I'm worried, but let's do it.
Oh, is that steam? Oh, maybe it's just your forehead melting. Shut up, Dave. All right. This episode is... You going to say something, Sean?
Nope, not at all.
Okay. You're fired. You're so fired, Dave. What's below ensign? This episode is the 12th episode or film to feature the name of the character played by a member of the series' regular cast in its title. In this case, the name of the Brad Boimler. Previous characters with episode titles include Spock, the original series Spock's Brain, Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, wow, he's the man, Data, and Next Generation Data Lore, and Elementary, Dear Data, Data's Day, a fistful of Datas, holy smokes, Deanna Troi in the Next Generation, Menage a Troi, Jadzia Dax in Deep Space Nine, Dax, that was clever, Quark in Deep Space Nine, The House of Quark, and Julian Bashir in Deep Space Nine, Our Man Bashir, Dr. Bashir, I presume. Wow. Oh, here's something fun. Although Shax has no lines in this episode, Fred Tatasciore voiced the Edosian Division 14 officer, the multiple arms and the skull face and everything else. So spooky.
Yeah, that he did a great job because that guy was definitely creeptastic until they land on the farm and he goes, oh.
Maybe if we painted the ship some brighter colors.
Turned on some lights.
We should have talked it out.
I said that.
What was the name of the character on Green Acres? Oh, wait a minute, Boomer Talk.
Yes.
What was the name of the character on Green Acres? Now everyone's at their computer with their head. Green Acres, what the heck is that? My grandparents watched that. What was that show? Oh, Mr. Drucker. He's like Mr. Drucker at the country store all of a sudden. Hopefully everyone's Googling Mr. Drucker for pictures right now. Right now.
Right now.
And the life form that grew out of the USS Rubidoux, not Robidoux, was very similar to the space vessel life form first introduced in the Next Generation encounter at Farpoint. That's the first thing I thought of.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm like, hey, look. And then maybe the difference was there was more tentacles and a lack of a shell around the body. But I don't know. I can't see it as anything else.
Right. Absolutely. Maybe that was the other one.
Yeah. The Division 14 medical specialist was the first appearance of a Edosian since the animated series, The Counterclock Incident. Remember that one, Sean?
I do not. How far back are we going?
I don't know. The animated
Early
series.
70s.
Oh, cheese and rice. So,
Yeah.
no.
No. For your time.
I was not born in the early 70s.
And the ship that the guy arrived in Edosian, was the Ostler. His register is NX75300, which indicates it's an experimental or prototype starship. This really threw me for a loop, Steve.
Yeah.
The original Enterprise was NX01. It was launched in 2151. How do I know that? I looked it up on the internet.
Yeah.
Amazing the things you'll find
I
there.
know it. So I went on. It's the first thing I thought of with this, too. And I go, NX, is this thing out of the past? It looked like it came out of some temporal rip, with all the lightning ball.
That's what I was actually
In the
thinking.
darkness. And I go, NX, where are they going? Because NX was, the original Enterprise that Archer commanded.
Right.
I'll give you a quick couple of paragraphs from Memory Alpha. One of the most important starships in interstellar history, Enterprise NX-01, so I guess that was the first one,
Yep.
was the culmination of the NX project. The NX-01 was the first NX-class starship launched by the United Earth Starfleet in 2151. Enterprise established United Earth as a legitimate interstellar power and caused a wholesale revolution in alpha and beta quadrant politics, paving the way for the creation of the Coalition of Planets on 2155 and eventually the United Federation of Planets in 2161. And that's what threw me for a loop. Why is this it? Where are they in their history, Steve? Are they in Kirk time or they're in Picard time, though, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, with everything that they've talked
2380.
about.
Yeah, so why is this an NX ship that was in 2151?
Well,
That's what-
you got to look at the number.
Yeah.
That first Enterprise was 01. This is 75,300.
They were working pretty hard on these ships.
Yeah.
But NX, though, that was United Earth Starfleet and
Right.
the Coalition of Planets. It wasn't the United Federation of Planets. So why would they keep doing with NX? I'm mad. And as a side note, the people I grew up with across the street, their name was Ostler, too.
Oh, nice.
Yes, the Ostler.
They were aliens.
Yeah.
I always suspected as much, to tell you the truth.
I think you have your actual proof now.
There was, I won't say anything. There's a lot of aliens in our neighborhood growing up. Also, much as in Deep Space Nine in Purgatory Shadow, Julian Bashir wore the original Deep Space Nine Starfleet uniform, indicating that he had been a prisoner of the Dominion since before the first contact-style uniform was adopted. In this episode, the leader of the attempted mutiny on the Ostler, my neighbors, wear the first contact-style uniform and the post-2371 comm badge, suggesting that he had been aboard the Ostler since before the lower deck-style uniform and comm badge were adopted. Whew.
What?
Yeah. A long time.
How the heck? Oh my gosh. How are you guys noticing that? Like, I'm not even grasping the different uniform styles. I'm just like, okay, different ship.
Oh yeah, we were talking about last week with the the pullover type. There were the t-shirt types, and there was the comfy one
Yeah.
that they wore in the last. They did look softer. Now they're gone from those, and they're totally casual in Picard. Well, what was Riker wearing in the Picard series? He was wearing they're pretty much the newer ones, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Softer style.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of
Yeah. He was sitting back in the captain's chair, just all casual. Just
yeah, should have seen him throw his leg across the chair. That would have been worth it.
Yeah.
I used to follow the page. Riker sits like a whore. So it was like just gifs of him like throwing his leg over a chair. Like, oh my god. I met him though. I feel bad. He was really nice.
That explains a lot of things about my neighbors growing up, too. Anyway, we see his stealth outfits worn by Picard, Dr. Crusher, and Worf for the Next Generation, and a planet similar to the planet Pleasure Planet, Risa. I always stumble when I think of Risa because, I've been there.
Yeah.
Best drinks in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Oh, and the transporter. We're going to get to the top 5 jokes, and the transporter accidents are a part of it. And of course, there are a dime a dozen in this franchise, most notoriously in connection with Lieutenant Reginald Barclay.
Yes.
I remember Reg.
Yep.
What was it? Transporter flu or?
He was a good character.
Oh, yeah.
We just watched one with him on it.
On Star Trek Voyager, a transporter accident once merged 2 characters into one. So, yeah, Boimler's transporter accident is par for the course.
Yes.
They even did that way back.
Yeah,
in
we've
Mad.
seen.
I was gonna
Well,
say,
we've seen that too.
yeah, I don't know. Here's another boomer reference: Mad Magazine.
Yeah.
They didn't do Star Trek. They did Star Black.
Yeah.
And when Spock and Kirk transported, they kind of messed up a little, and there was only like half of Kirk, and he had his hand sticking out of his ear.
Oh, God.
Yep, the stuff you don't see. It seems as though, here's another Easter egg, body transformations are also a mainstay on the television shows. There was a time when a bunch of Enterprise crew turned into little children, and the other time when they were evolved into animals.
Yep.
I do not remember the
No.
animals.
And don't forget the Voyager episode Threshold, where Tom Paris and Captain Janeway turned into space salamanders.
Exactly.
Who could forget
Right.
that?
Maybe I am forgetting a lot of it. I guess I need to go back and watch some of these again.
There's a lot to cover.
Maybe
Yeah.
I was just blocking some of it out. Who knows?
I guess that's where Anthony, his shout out comes from, because he was a salamander. It happens.
Yeah.
We also see the patients on Division 14 suffering from Delta radiation, which all Trekkies know is the inevitable fate of Captain Christopher Pike. Oh, man, that gives me a chill.
Yeah.
They say that show is going to be not so much serial, except for what goes on with the characters. I
Right.
really want to see. He knows
Yes.
this is a little off topic, but he knows he's going to die.
Yes.
Horribly. And then they make fun of it in this episode. Everybody going around the Pike chairs. People are sick.
Yeah. Love it.
Anyway,
That's why it's right up our alley.
Yes.
so top. I almost said FOP type jokes.
Yeah.
How about top 5 jokes? Wow.
I want the
I use the transporter in a house a little too much. Sometimes my tongue is not where it's supposed to be. I won't tell you where it is.
No.
Oh, my.
All right, number 5. The evil cackle is just the way I laugh. That was at the end. He's like, he gets all dark again. He's like devious. He's like, yeah. He goes, oh, sorry, it's just the way I laugh.
Yeah.
Number 4 was the floating, I called it the floating head chunks guy. This is a visual joke. All those Land of Misfit toy people.
Yeah.
One of them was a guy with most of his head missing, except there was chunks of it still floating, like just off his head. Maybe it's me, but I thought that was funny. Floating head chunks guy. And number 3 is hair promotable, that Sean mentioned earlier. And he's going scrambling through his hair, trying to find out the perfect suck up type of hairdo.
Yeah.
I was honestly wondering if one of those hairstyles were like reminiscent of somebody, like a first officer. And I'm like, I think I need to watch that again. Just feel like,
I wonder if it's somebody in the writing room and they just crapped on everyone's hair there. Here's your hair. It's stupid. Here's her hair. Okay, number 2. They can make me a real boy again. Oh my God. He was like Pinocchio. This is Boimler again.
Yeah.
He wants to be fixed, and his first thing that comes out of his mouth, they can make me a real boy again? Yes, Pinocchio, there's hope for you. All right, number 1, and this is totally me. I know everyone's going to disagree, but I cracked up when the dog went by and then turned into a cube.
Yeah.
It just kept going, one square part after another. They just look at it like, huh, that killed me. I want a cube dog.
love the zero worried look that I'm like, did you not see that? What happened here?
Yeah.
Stuff that happens that doesn't even faze them.
Right.
You know, dog turns into a cube and keeps on moving across the floor. I'm gonna have nightmares about that. We have 2 Goldens in this household. I wonder if they're gonna cube out on me or something.
Well, if you just start hearing thump, thump, thump.
That's normal. That's normal.
You are a freak.
Yeah. Well, we did get some feedback. As usual, our friend Fred from the Netherlands, whose COVID count is rising again, unfortunately.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they're like the rest of us. Netherlands are becoming like the rest of us, just can't put it out.
Happens, you open the door to everything.
Yep, especially college kids. And that's got him worried because he teaches college kids. So you stay safe, Fred.
My high school was in the news recently. Made the Boston Globe.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, for the wrong reason. Well, comes from one of those 2-town high schools. It's a regional high school. One of the towns, not mine, had a 150-kid party, and they suspended school for 2 weeks. And the superintendent was so mad, he called out all the parents in the state between his two, right in the front page of the paper.
Wow.
Oh, how could you think? He goes, "Don't tell me you didn't know. I don't want to hear it."
Yeah.
Wow. He was mad.
Damn.
Yep.
So let's take a listen to Fred's feedback.
Hello, Steve and Dave. This is Fred from the Netherlands with some feedback for Star Trek Lower Decks Season 1, Episode 7. When Captain Ramsey walked in, my first impression she was a sister or half-sister of Mariner, and also a daughter of Captain Freeman. But they proved to be just buddies from the academy. And it also proves that Mariner is not that bad at all. Actually, she was kind of top of her class, because Ramsey said, "We were expecting you would be the first captain of us all." And even the Vulcan says, "Why are you just an ensign?" So there is something very weird in Mariner's psychology, because under stress, she really functions as a good officer. Or is it an officer? Or is it just a Federation person? And that is what she is. And not so much Starfleet, though the Starfleet philosophy, but not really Starfleet. Perhaps she would do better without a uniform and without ranks. Or is the point that she can't escape her upbringing, being a daughter of an admiral and a captain? Whereas she actually wants that. And again, as always, I didn't like the Tandy story so much with the crazy dog. What I did like, of course, is the pad at the beginning with a big symbol of DNA on it. Okay, that was all for this time. Greetings, all the best, Fred from the Netherlands.
Wow, he kind of followed your line of thinking, Steve.
I kind of sound like he might be.
Yeah. What's it something to do with her past?
Yeah.
Huh.
Or it could just be that her parents were just so buttoned up and strict that it's kind of gotten in her psyche that she's not going to be that way.
Or never going to be good enough.
Right. Yeah. You better believe that. Yeah. That definitely could be part of it, is that she doesn't feel that she could ever be good enough to stand up to either one of them.
Wow,
you guys are going real deep.
I know, that's kind of sad. It is sad.
Yeah. We're doing a bunch of sad stuff here.
Yeah, I know. We're really darkening this hilarious show. It was a good point when he said, is she Starfleet or just Starfleet-like in following the philosophy of Starfleet, but not really cut out for the uniform? That's pretty interesting, too. Good take.
Yep. And I think he'd agree with me. She'd probably do better on Picard.
Yeah. Wow.
Not quite so button up Starfleet. Well, as always, Fred, we appreciate your feedback and looking forward to hearing from you again for the next episode. And we'd love to hear your thoughts on each and every episode this season, and looking forward to interacting on social media with all the great fans. How can the fans interact with us, Sean?
Well, you can go to www.fangirlzone.com, click on the contacts link, and you'll find all the ways you can contact us through email and social media. Because if I was a better leader, I would remember all of these.
In her dark and sultry voice.
That was my captain's voice.
Oh.
And then my crazy captain's voice. But on Twitter, you can follow the guys over at @SallyOrSteve or at @thereal_ID_Dave.
And Sean's at Jetta256.
528.
528. God damn it.
God damn it.
Please review and rate us on iTunes and every other platform you're listening to us on, because good ratings and reviews help other fans of the show find us, as there are a boatload of Star Trek Lower Decks podcasts out there. Tell your friends, and we hope you're enjoying our podcast. And don't forget to check out the other great Fangirl Zone podcasts.
Yes, we have tons of fun on all of them.
Yeah.
Especially when I get the guys to talk about all sorts of random crap.
Certainly did that in this episode. Meanwhile, back in my high school days, everyone's like,
Like, okay, boomer.
Yeah. Anyway, the 8th episode is on September 24th and is titled Veritas. Ooh, some Latin. So until then, remember it's Sean's turn.
Remember! So pay attention, boys and girls. Otherwise, you sound like me.
Wear your mask.
Boimler out of here.
The number red shirt Dave. Taking charge and punching out Yankee fans. I mean, captains.